Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sam Darley here, and tonight we are on the eve of the biggest game in sports, the Super Bowl between the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. Just some final thoughts of tomorrow's game. We're all excited. The week-long hype is over. I'm going to be checking out the NFL Experience tomorrow. No, I'm going crazy, right? So tomorrow is the big day. The big day when we find out who's going to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. Will it be Tom Brady or will it be Matt Ryan? It's going to be really funny because after Deflategate, man, that's going to be an awkward trophy ceremony if New England wins. I think many people want to see Tom Brady could be handed the trophy by Goodell, but I will say this. I don't think New England can win this game for the simple reason of during the week, Kyle Shanahan's playbook was mistakenly picked up by a reporter. But, the media, the fans are all going to blame Bill Belichick, because of the history of cheating. And I think if New England wins the game, people are going to look back on that playbook incident and say, well, New England cheated again. And it's just, it seems like every big incident in football revolves around the New England Patriots. They're just allergic. Essentially, they just don't have medicine for the allergy of being surrounded by scrutiny. There's always something going on with New England, and New England does have the number one scoring defense. Atlanta is 23rd, and they were pretty good in the playoffs defensively. This is going to be a great matchup. I want to see Atlanta win because I've never seen them win the Super Bowl, and I think it'd be great to see a team that's never done it win it. But I think New England's experience is going to take over, and I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be a close game. I think New England's going to win 34-31. So, what say you? What's your prediction? Also, Pat McAfee, the former Colts punter, retired at age 29. I know somebody else retired early in the week. I forgot his name. I do apologize. He played for the Ravens. He retired at 24 years old. This is never going to end. And I think, and I've said this over and over and over again. If the NBA had competitive balance, they could destroy the NFL with all these young retirees. I mean, I'm being serious. You can't survive when your best players... I know McAfee wasn't exactly a superstar, and neither was the guy who retired from the Ravens, but they're still football players. They're still paid professional athletes, and they're all leaving the game early. So, what's going on? What are people... Is the future of football, future of the NFL in jeopardy? That's what I want to know. I mean, if like I said, if the NBA had any competitive balance, they're a little bit more of an exciting product. Granted, I know tomorrow's the Super Bowl. Houston has been a great host. I watched today on the news about a great report of just how much the city of Houston has grown. It's the fourth largest city in the United States, and they've done a fabulous job representing the city. The people have been great. Restaurants are great. But Discovery Green, the whole idea of Discovery Green happened after the Super Bowl was here in 2004. So, the Super Bowl has brought more attention, and I think Houston's going to become a destination that people are going to start thinking about in the years to come. I think Tom Brady's gonna have a good game. I think it's gonna be New England. Well, obviously I said New England 34-31. I think Tom Brady is gonna get Super Bowl MVP, but I just believe somehow, even if New England wins, even if New England does indeed win, there's no way Goodell is gonna give the MVP trophy to Tom Brady. There's just no way. Speaking of superstars and valuable players, Last night, the Houston Rockets won in overtime. Excuse me, not double overtime. They really should have played. They really should have handled the Bulls easier than they did last night. They've struggled lately. They're still third in the West. They won against the Chicago Bulls as they defeated Chicago on Yao Ming's retirement night, retired jersey night. That's a game they just could not afford to lose. Again, I mean, no disrespect to the Chicago Bulls. They played hard. They played well, but at the end of the day, that's a team that's hovering around 500. The Rockets cannot let hang around in their building. That's a team they've got to handle, and handle very, very well. So, going forward, again, the Rockets need paint defense, and Capella's starting to play well. He's still not a guy that's going to control the paint. I mean, you watch the Hawks, you watched the last night against Chicago, and you watched them all season long. I mean, you can't, there's nothing about their interior defense. It's so inviting. You just want to get layups and dunks, and it's too easy. And I think it's going to come back to haunt them in the playoffs. I think it's the same thing that's going to happen in Golden State. I know a lot of people want to believe that Durant, Curry, Green, and Thompson, that's all fantastic, but at the end of the day, you're in a 7-game series, and that's a whole different animal than playing 82 games of a season with a bunch of back-to-backs and injuries and teams playing 4 games in 5 nights. So, really, if you want my honest opinion, I think the Western Conference is going to be San Antonio, Utah, or Memphis. And Golden State's in the mix, and I think Houston's in the mix, but size does matter. I mean, the Golden State Warriors did not lose the championship because of Draymond Green's Game 5 suspension. They lost the championship because Bogut got hurt, and all of a sudden Cleveland got easy baskets after easy basket, and it opened up the rest of the floor, and the rest is history. So yes, you don't need a big that can give you 20 points and dominate like Shaquille O'Neal and Hakeem Olajuwon and even Yao Ming, but you need a big. You need somebody that can keep the other team out of the paint and make teams one-dimensional, make the perimeter jump shooting teams all night long. Of course, you also need perimeter defense, and the Golden State Warriors are number 1 in defensive efficiency in the NBA. But again, you get into a 7-game series, and we also had Durant disappear. What's not to say he won't disappear again? What about Draymond Green? Those guys, there's no guarantee that they're going to go to the NBA Finals. In fact, I think if you ask me, I think Houston loses in the first round to either Memphis. I think Oklahoma City could be a dark horse with their size. Westbrook is playing out of his mind, but I think in a 7-game series, Oklahoma City is very susceptible. So I think if Houston matched up with either Utah or Memphis, I think they'd be done. And I think Golden State is going to breeze through the first round, and then they're going to meet their match. And I think they lose in the second round of the playoffs. Now, Cleveland, on the other hand, look, LeBron wants another playmaker. And Shaq and Charles Barkley have gone at it on TNT about it. I'm just going to say it real quick. He does not need another playmaker. They just need to get back on track as a team. They did that the other night against the Timberwolves. But let's be real. That's a young Timberwolves team that the Cavaliers should handle. I'm not putting too much stock into that win. You need to see them go up against a team like San Antonio, Golden State, and beat them. Or Houston. And really put it to those type of teams because, at the end of the day, LeBron literally believes that they need another playmaker. And of course, there's talks about Carmelo Anthony, and it hasn't died down. And I think the one thing that's stopping the Melo deal going through, or any Melo deal going through for that matter of fact with any team, is the fact that Melo has a no-trade clause in his contract, and he also has a huge contract. So, yeah. Super Bowl tomorrow night. Atlanta New England. I think New England's experience is gonna take over the game, and I think they're gonna win 34-31. I also think that. The Houston Rockets winning the other night against the Chicago Bulls again. They can't struggle against a team like that. They're playing a 500 or worse team, and this is the team that they should be beating. It is. It's just no other way around it. So we'll see what happens. Houston's third in the West. They don't play until Tuesday night against the Orlando Magic. Again, that's a young team. It's a team they should beat. It's a team that's got a lot of size, though. And Serge Ibaka has been rumored to be on the block, so maybe the Rockets will look into that. And we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens. But Houston being a great host of the Super Bowl tomorrow at La La Land. If you haven't experienced the NFL experience, well, I'll probably see you tomorrow. Okay, thank you for listening. This has been Sam Darley. Have a great night.